Hi, this is Mwangi Wajumbi, a professional trainer on strategy, performance management, change management, and also leadership. Also, a widely published writer on the same areas, especially in the Kenyan media. The most notable publication is a monthly strategy column in a magazine titled Small and Medium Enterprise Today, which lasted 5 years. That is from 2013 to 2018. As I wrote this column, I was influenced into writing two publications. The first one is titled Career Dynamics in the 21st Century, sub-theme Unleashing the Human Performance Potential, which was first published in 2015. In May 2015, that is 23rd May 2015, an article was written by the Daily Nation analyzing the book, and that article attracted the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development to the book. And in 2016, it was approved for circulation in secondary schools in Kenya and also used for the architecture of the competency-based curriculum. As the book continues circulating in schools in Kenya, I was influenced into writing another one in 2018 titled Living Beyond Survival, sub-theme No More Tiptoeing in Life. This second book is an advancement of the first one, and it attracted two forwards, one from the Vice Chancellor of a university in Kenya, and the other one from the CEO of the Kenya Institute of Management. Those two forwards made the book to become quite authoritative, and it also continued circulating in schools, in organizations, and other institutions in this country, just like Career Dynamics in the 21st Century. What is the issue of interest today? First, it's good to indicate that the last 2 months, we've largely been concentrating in uploading content based on our activities in secondary schools happening in different parts of the country or different counties, for teachers, for students. But today, we feel there's a need to share knowledge or information on what is happening in the education system. But before doing that, I would like to encourage you to subscribe to this channel so that every time we upload new content, you'll be alerted and you'll be able to share even with the people who are close to you, because this is important information that we share, particularly on what is happening in the education system. For now, the marking of examinations for the grade 6 class is ongoing. The marking of the exams for standard 8 class is also ongoing. Remember, these two classes were supposed to join secondary schools as a double intake in 2023 January. But this situation has changed. What has happened? The President of Kenya, guided by the Presidential Working Team on the reforms in the education system, decided that grade 7, grade 8, and grade 9 will forthwith remain in primary schools. It could be as upper primary schools or intermediate school, or whichever way it may be rebranded. Though majority now perceive it as junior secondary school premised in primary schools. Nothing wrong with that, except for just one issue that I'm going to discuss. And this reforms team seems to have coincidentally agreed quite substantially with our ideas, which we had shared sometimes in July 2022. Through this forum, a video content through this forum, we have suggested that the implementation of the competency-based curriculum should have taken a different course for it to achieve the desired results, as opposed to grade 7 joining secondary schools. And our suggestions were based on what is known as continuous improvement, which we learned very well from Japan, which is well known as a global authority on development in this world. We feel that the CBC, the competency-based curriculum, could have been implemented in a way that it would actually end up as improvement of the 844 system. And since that has already been happening up to grade 6, it would not have been very difficult to align grade 7 and 8, transform them into upper primary school, and still be premised in primary schools. Then we had felt that grade 9 and 10 should be considered as the junior secondary school, premised this time in secondary schools. Grade 11 and 12 would also be transformed into senior secondary school, still premised in secondary schools. We could simply have put upper primary school 2 years, junior secondary school 2 years, and senior secondary school 2 years. That takes care of the 6 classes. That is grade 7 to grade 12. Now, there could have been some benefits which even now will be beneficial to the school system had that arrangement been embraced. One, upper primary schools students will mature just like it has been happening with those in grade 7 and 8 before they proceed to secondary school. In other words, they will not have been perceived as underage as they venture into secondary school or junior secondary school for that matter. There would have been no issue of double intake of grade 7 and standard Form 1 classes joining secondary school. That, of course, has been achieved now through the new arrangements. Also, there would not have been a problem of which teachers will take care of the grade 7 class once they proceed forward to secondary school. Now, the same primary school teachers that have been taking care of them will still now take care of them in the new classes premised in primary schools. The other thing that is critical is that there would have been no infrastructural development in secondary schools, as was the case based on the arrangements of the previous government. At the same time, there would have been no wastage of 2 classes in primary schools, and again, that has been achieved through the new arrangements by the current government. But there's an incomplete business here. The presidential working team on the reforms of the education system were appointed to last 6 months. So the current reforms that are going on in the school system were supposed to be suggested or reviewed within the first 2 months of this reforms team. That has happened. So, what business will they have in the next 4 months before their session expires? We still feel that grade 9 does not fit in primary schools. One, students will stay or will last in primary schools for a whole 9 years, which is longest in this world, as we have learned from media reports. Why so? Why should that happen? Then we will also end up developing infrastructure in primary school to accommodate the grade 9 class. Again, why so? Then, on the basis of that arrangement, grade 9 remaining in secondary school, in primary school, it will mean that the senior secondary school will only be 3 classes. So what will happen to the facilities of the 4th class that is already in existence? Why waste infrastructure of the 4th class and construct infrastructure in primary school when there was infrastructure, adequate infrastructure in secondary schools? Now, that is what I would like the reform teams to consider, the implication of grade 9 still existing in primary schools. I want to believe that there's a lot to be done. So there's a lot of unfinished business of the reforms team, because we also need to understand how the content will be spread. The content of junior secondary school and senior secondary school and upper primary school will be spread if these ideas that we brought out in July 2022 and we are still insisting on up to now. And I think our ideas should be taken seriously, because career dynamics in the 21st century, written by this author, was used for architecture of the competency-based curriculum. And in fact, the 3rd edition of that concept is already in the resource center in the Ministry of Education headquarters for those who like to understand, especially the philosophy of the transformation of the education system through the CBC. So this is not something just to be taken casually, because our ideas were well thought out. That is why they were used for architecture of the new curriculum, and they were properly researched, and we believe these ideas, if taken up as we are suggesting, will be quite beneficial to the education system in this country. We can discuss more on this, but for now, we encourage people to continue reading the 2 publications, Career Dynamics in the 21st Century and also Living Beyond Survival. Also, there is still more content available on this forum, and it's quite informative. And we are still conducting seminars in schools, in organizations, even in the religious sector, especially aiming to help people to understand how to align their thinking with the dynamics or paradigms of the 21st century. We can be contacted on 0772 516210 or 0722 516210 for more information or engagements. Thank you and have a very good day.